Hello and welcome to today's broadcast brought to you by ESCL and our lovely duo that will be Voron 1X joined with Scared Yet. Scared Yet is a face you might as well have grown to like, definitely, because who cannot like Scared? But come on, he's been casting every day almost on ESCL. All right, not in the beginning. We had big load on Zakota and on Mio. They were driving it forward, but lately, I've been seeing Scared all the time. Scared, do you even sleep sometime? Come on, man. How are you doing today, and how excited are you about possibly seeing the strongest four teams, or one of the strongest four teams that we have here on Frozen Diva? Of course, we don't have Boars esports, so that's kind of throwing the wrench in the cogs.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's so stacked.
Yes, we don't have Boars Gaming, but we have Boars Queen today, so that's one of those strong lineups out which you're mentioning, Warren, and we've also got FUT Esports, and I really wanted to see because the games that you mentioned, the ones that I missed off early on, were one of those games of FUT Esports, so I'm super excited about this one, and again, thank you so much, man, and everybody loves you as well. You do a fantastic job here. Coming out onto these group stages, ladies and gentlemen, we've got the Group A up in front of us. Zero Vision, they've got one more game to play. They are still on that winning streak. Boars Queen are still looking forward to their next two games. Monstars as well. One game left with Zero Vision, if I'm not wrong, and the second one will probably be with Boars Queen themselves. But let's have a look at the Group B, Warren.
Oh, absolutely. We unfortunately will not see any more Boars Gaming in the group phase because they've ended up. They had it all done. 3-0. Beautiful performance all across the board. Phantoms, unfortunately for them, it's been all done, and for them it's not really as beautiful. Unfortunately, they are sitting at 1 point, but still they could be above Angels. Depends how Angels can play out at the last matchup they will have against Helicopters. For Helicopters, it's super important because if they win, they are sitting at 2 points and they will qualify as the next team from Group B. But if they lose, then you have three teams that will be having 1 point, just 1 point, and then it will come down to the statistics, to all the measurements, and that's a bloody affair. You don't really want to go there.
I 100% agree, right? Even in the matchup of Helicopters and Angels, they're just doing to find out their positionings into the group as well, and also at the same time, right? There will be two teams who will qualify on the basis of all the statistics throughout these group stages, apart from the first top one teams that are already going to qualify. So every single game is going to count, and that's also one of the main highlights for all of these teams. Boars Divine as well, they played out two games, one against Crimson Onyx, the second one against Witch Please, have won both of them. Crimson Onyx and Witch Please on the other side are on the second and third spot respectively. While for esports and Bringing Bad will commence their game, that's going to be the second best of three today. That means the Group D's matches will also be over. We'll only have one more group to go around with. That would be Group A, and potentially just one more game left there. It's going to be, as I said, it's going to be super exciting, super interesting as well, because the only time we saw FUT Esports, it was against Sphinxes, and so was the case with Bringing Bad. But I'll have to say, FUT Esports were the ones who looked way more clean while they were dealing with Sphinxes, right? So it is going to be a tough matchup.
I mean, the way to look at it wouldn't be necessarily that FUT Esports looked just more clean than their opponents. It was, they both looked very good, but they looked better, right? That's the thing. They were both up here with the performance, but their individual performance and their team performance was just a little bit higher. But we will see which of those teams can bring it together better, because they will be matched up against each other pretty soon. But before that, let's talk Zero Vision and Boars Queens, because that's the matchup we will have right now immediately in front of our faces. Zero Vision right here. Go for it, Scared.
I'm gonna be super excited out, man, because as you rightfully mentioned, we've got Apricot, Sunlight, Ayayay, Wassa, Bane, Baby Ari. So pretty solid roster for Zero Vision. I am gonna be seeing them for the very first time here, and I really hope I did not butcher any pronunciations at this point. So again, they still are looking for their victory out, at least in their group right now, because yes, it is going to be a strong team against them. We've got Boars Queens, if I'm not wrong, so out
Oh,
here, a tough
absolutely.
matchup yet again. You know it is going to be the battle for the best.
Oh, for sure. We have Foxy, Lixie, Oaken. Damn, that's a hard name to pronounce. All right, I'm skipping that. I'm sorry, me and Leroy. That got me. That got me right off the bat. I wasn't ready for that. Scared. How do you even pronounce that?
Hey, what if it's just excuse me?
Oh, you are right, bro. It is. Oh, it
We'll
is.
just we'll just get that confirmation as well side by side from Boars Queen, by the way, guys. So do let us know if that is the correct pronunciation. Is it excuse me? And if it is, then yeah, Warren, you owe me a chocolate.
It absolutely has to be. Man, you're a one smart cookie. I have to say that. That's all that mlbb. You don't know that. You don't know that, dear viewers, but he has been practicing and gaming to get all the knowledge into his noodle right before we started. 1 minute before we started the broadcast, he was still finishing up a game. Did you win it, Scared? Did you win the game?
Yeah, we absolutely
You
did. I'm
see
pushing that
that
Lord MMA, man.
that just confirms my theory. The more you play mlbb, the more you understand mlbb. He is a man on the grind and he has a mission. But right now we have a mission, we have a co-op mission. We will be casting this lovely clash, this BO3, and let's not forget to mention today is probably the day of the most brutal matchups here on Frozen Diva. Never was there a day where the teams that were being matched up against each other were this stacked. None of these opponents can be underestimated. There's no denying that. They are super powerful, and I don't believe we will be seeing clean 2-0s. And if it's a 2-0, it will be bloody affair. It will be very dirty, and it will come down to individual mechanics and maybe a little tad bit of luck.
I mean, all the things play a huge role in terms of bringing us the champions, bringing us the winners, and that is what separates every other team from those top tier players, right? And to be honest, this is going to be the main point where Zero Vision themselves will be looking to at least steal that one game away from Boars Queen because they've been looking really, really strong. Out here for the first few bans, though, this time they're kind of different, right? We're not seeing a lot of comfort bans on the other side. We've got the Freya, Zetian, as well as Leomord, along with the Jushin, Kaja, and Sora. Straightforward bans, pretty solid. Yisun Shin left open, Eve left open.
Yeah, the question is, who you value more? Is it Sunlight? Is it AA? Who do you value more? Who is the carry? Because of course the answer will be that other pick with something else. Honestly, I would say it's less dangerous to give them Yisun Shin. Just hear me out. Because you can still go for Fred. And also, alright, or it's a carry. First pick, okay. I was completely wrong, but this has that one problem, and that is Boars Queens can go immediately for Baxia out of all the people. Alright. Okay.
I mean,
Scared, don't let me cook. This is yours. I'm so lost.
man, it's totally fine. It's Basha, Valentina as well. Pretty solid openings out. We've been seeing Valentina prioritized quite a lot by a lot of teams. Sometimes even going in for the first pick as well. We've seen that happen in the Fast Cups too. So it's kind of that one big prio right now, apart from the Jushin, which mostly stays in the ban section. Now to answer this segment, I don't think so you'd want to go the Yi Sun Shin into this composition. Maybe go for a Fred, while also denying that big ultimate to the Valentina, while picking something up that can also poke down the Basha a little bit. I think so Lilia could be a pretty solid call if Zero Vision wants to go for the comfort, or they might want to stick with the Gato Eve, if that is the idea.
Lilia definitely became quite viable lately. All right, it's Yves together with Kalia. So that combination is right there. Similar stuff to Kimi, similar stuff to Forza being paired up with this tail whipping lady, who of course in her Tsunami Slam holds the target. You can burst him down. And paired up not only with Eve, but especially Carrie, because we saw that combo many times. Carrie with someone who can hold the target in place. Usually, the most logical approach and the easiest is Kaja, but Kalia, she can do a fair enough job. So why not go for that? The answer lies in the hands of Boars Queens, and they are definitely thinking it through.
Kind of like this at this point. Pretty solid one. Boars Queens. Let's see. Maybe they'd want to go in for the Gato. Alright, they're locking the CC for the EXP.
All right.
Now they can. They also have got this flex pick right there in the form of CC because it can go to gold as well. Why if they decide to put in the Yisun Shin into the jungle position, and they can also put the Basha in that roam, right? So this is a really nice opening from them because Zero Vision would not know what the actual composition is like.
Right now the question is, what do you ban? Well, Boars Queens definitely went for that Guinevere. Honestly, a little bit surprised by that. I can imagine that she could be deadly either in the jungle or maybe even XP. But what I'm a little bit surprised about is you have that Valentina. She could steal that Requiem, and she could be quite deadly with that, because as we know, Valentina has much higher scalings on all those spells than the normal users. So,
True.
I mean, I don't follow quite. Maybe it's just a preference. Maybe it's just, all right, we want CC to have a good matchup. We don't want Baxia to get screwed over. So they go for that.
Yeah, Gwenman is a pretty good one, to be honest, out there. Just because of the fact how prioritized she is. With just a concentrated energy, you can simply switch over towards a very tanky build while also having a good amount of sustain and a good burst damage. And the best part is that she benefits from the knockups from her teammates. Even if your teammate knocks up the enemy, she can just tap onto the Violet Requiem and can keep on knocking that one person up. So that's a long duration of crowd control, or at least single target control. Suyu as well has been really prioritized right now. It's getting a lot more famous in that jungle position. So good call. Zero Vision might want to ban out the Claude here. Just to either the Claude or the Yi Sun Shin. Just to deny the gold lane or maybe the jungle potential. They go for the
Nice,
Grok,
Grok.
right?
Which is
Fair.
quite surprising.
It's fair.
If she doesn't really care, it doesn't knock her up if she has ult. For carry, it could be deadly, but let's see what else they pick, because that could tell us a little bit more why they decided to ban Grok. But so far, I don't see that high of a value. Don't get me wrong, yes, he is super useful and strong in the meta. But maybe the Cloud could have been a better option, because then their opponents would be left just either with a Yisun Shin for the gold, and then he could, I don't think necessarily because he's playing against Scary, but he could be harassed by range. But no, you love
Here's
them
the
with
thing.
Cloud.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of evident as well. You banned out the Leslie, picked up the carry. There's only a few options that are left into that gold lane, which pair up really well with the Basha along with the CC. And that was the Claude. And now since most of the junglers have been taken care of and they don't want to go for the Fredrin route, they've decided to go in for the double marksman setup by picking up the Yisun Shin and also the Lapu Lapu. So it's kind of like that. It is tough, man. Right now, Boars Queen's composition looks pretty solid.
Let me explain why I hate it. Because when there is a Valentina, you have to think about it. And definitely not give her an ultimate like Lapus. Like, I'm not saying it's the best, but it's definitely not the worst to give to Valentina. She has so much damage, she's CC immune, she can get right on her targets, and if she has some AP, some magic power, that carry is getting destroyed by that ult.
Yeah, that is true. And it's going to be a problem for Zero Vision to survive there, man. I agree. The Hylos Basha combination fits so well with this full dive comp by Boars Queen right now. And the best part is Leroy can simply copy the ultimate of Eve. And then she can basically create that one solid real world manipulation zone for her own team as well. And with the Hylos, it's going to pair really, really good. Man, it's looking tough for Zero Vision. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be hopping into the Land of Dawn right now for the first time in this evening. You all are watching the Female Pro League Season 1 Frozen Diva. It's Warren along with me, Scared, and man, it's going to be an interesting along with a tough try-hard matchup.
And immediately some harassment starting in mid lane.
Hold on, Lixie. Alright. She's been brute force her way to use the revitalize right now. And hold on a second. She's still staying up in front. Disrespecting the poke from the Kalia as well as the Eve. That's interesting.
Let me just get back to the point that I was mentioning in the draft, because the worst kind of person is a person who hates something. Oh, right? The worst kind of person is double VN if she dies. That would be very bad.
Yeah, it's fine. It's just gonna be A-OK for now, maybe for like a few seconds. But yeah, we've got 48 seconds for the break. Yeah, go ahead, Warren. Talk about your point.
I mean, just imagine in this position with this ref, the Rizla on the XP. Like, Wu would kill him, bro. Wu would kill him. He would be insanely tanky with online. And yes, Okun with the CC could be annoying with the Boars.
Oh, hold on a second right now. Lixie, she's gonna be going back home though. Leroy getting picked off there. Was definitely not a start Boars Queen were looking for, but Zero Vision having that mid priority make it into the EXP lane priority as well. That's a 2-for-0 trade right now, and they get the turtle bit at least.
It's a 2-for-0, and you could say opponents had no vision at all.
You just wanted to say that, didn't you?
I mean,
they're gonna get that turtle.
A man's gotta do what a man's gotta do.
To be honest, I approve of that one. That was a pretty good one. So that's why I let that sink in for a few seconds, because nice call. I'm just gonna be stealing
Leroy?
I think it should be fine right now. Lixie and Leroy, they're both behind. It's alright, all good. Yes, it was quite a shaky start for them, but it's still level 5 on Foxy, and you can compare it to Sunlight.
Clown shoes for Sunlight.
Just to get that extra bit of cooldown reduction here. That's all. Oh, Lixie, hold on a second. They decided not to go in for the Tsunami Slam now. That is interesting call there.
Maybe she's keeping it for someone else. For sure, she is keeping it for someone else. Valentina right now in a position that definitely no Valentina player wants to be left in, and that is being behind in XP. That's not your favorite spot to be in. Double VN with a jungle steal. I don't think Foxy. Yeah, I don't think Foxy got that, and there is a fight.
Yeah, right now 2000 for sure used up as well with the glorious pathway, but it's not enough for them to survive. But the blazing duet might just be. But hold on, double running away at a slither of HP will make sure that Baby Ivy also gets that double there. Oh my goodness, Leroy just getting caught while she was trying to rotate up top to help out, excuse me. And now with the BMI just dropped out here, she's gonna be doped upon. Real world manipulation on her face. There's no other way to run. A big start for Zero Vision.
Is this possibly the first time we will see one of the Boars squads to lose a single game? Because I believe we didn't see that yet. They were on a streak that wasn't broken by either of the squads. Boars Gaming are already locked in. They cannot. Baku.
Oh, and towards the backline as well, as Okun gets destroyed by the Raging Splashes. And the next one on the chopping block will be the high loss. Tsunami slammed back into the turtle pit. Let's see. We'll have to wait for the next few seconds to be respawned. No glorious pathway here to be dropped.
But back to the thing. Is this the first time in history in Frozen Diva Season 1 that we will see Boars, one of the Boars squads, lose a game? Because that didn't happen.
It looks like it, my man, because They've got 6,000 goal lead already in 5 minutes of the game. That is 1,000 gold per minute that they're increasing. So that is going to be tough for Boars Queen to make a comeback from, considering they will now rely on, excuse me, for the late game damage onto that Lord.
I look like a silly goose and I feel like a silly moose because I didn't really like the draft, but look at it, they are killing... Oh, okay, yeah, they are killing Ocon. She had no right to be here. This was straight illegal. This Lapu, I don't think he will die.
Yeah, it's tough. They're just trying to barely keep themselves alive here. Right off lane, off camera. Turret taken down, zero vision. Guess what? They've got all the vision of the opponent right now. Excuse me, has got the Demon Hunter sword. She would be able to deal a decent bit of damage out there, but the real world manipulation dropped out by Leroy though. So this is the Iron Hue that is being used up out in the mid, where Doubles is getting picked off instantly. Nowhere for her to run. Now, yeah, also forcing out the flicker on the other end with the blazing duet drop down. There's no one up in contention. RWM on the other side just to get them low with a flicker, land shaker, and into the raging slash as you put the mountain shocker down and make sure that all of the Boars Queen are wiped out.
Wow. Wow, what a perfect fight from Zero Vision. But on the same note, before dropping a bar, we have to definitely consider the state of the game. Because if we look at the draft, if we look at the heroes that the individuals are rocking, there is Baby Irie rocking that Carrie, and Carrie, she is far superior to Claude. So they kinda had to do this fight, even though it's a flip, even though it was kind of obvious that they will lose. They had to try, because the longer this game goes on, the harder it is for Boars Queens to play. So they have to try, and they have to keep trying.
The problem is that the more they try right now, the lesser their chances become, because Sunlight just getting that 1v1 against Foxy is a bash of all sorts, man. Ascension should not be winning against a boxer like that. 7 minutes into the game, Warren, and she is level 12.
I like the style of Sunlight and the double VN. They both are rocking that 7 number in their stats. And right now we have the 7th minute, so they are on point. Let's see if they can keep it up in 15 seconds, make it 8.
Yeah, because it ain't happening right now. You've already got one person picked off, and that is your main ADC, the carry. Very tough. That's a good pullback from Boars Queen. Maybe with this one, they can, as I said, go ahead, start for their comeback. That bounty being claimed up is going to help them a bit though, but with the 9,000 goal lead still to be climbed up, you need more than those shutdowns.
Right now they are in a tough spot. They should be looking to farm anything they can in their jungle, and don't really care who gets it. Doesn't really matter. What is important is that Zero Vision doesn't get it, because that's the only way. Zero Vision, instead of kills, if of course if they get kills, that's one way. But other than kills, that's the only way they can keep improving their lead. If there are no objectives yet. Of course, Lord, 5 seconds, so that's something to consider. And you don't really have wave clear. Of course, first Lord, so it should be alright. Kinda squishy, but he might do some damage.
Yeah, right now, Mountain Shocker used up as well, just to get the confirmation on where everyone else is. Trinity completed for excuse me. So now
Wait,
she should be... Yeah, just right now. She picked up the golden staff as well. But hold on, I kind of want to see if she picked up the corrosion site first or not. Maybe it's still left though, but we'll get to know about that in a while, as Okun will now have to wait for 20 more seconds to be respawned as the bottom inhibitor has been taken down. Zero Vision want to push up forward as well. Lixie did not even get a chance to use the glorious pathway. Revitalized was popped on, but the heal was not enough. The burst is just too much for them to handle. Another Mountain Shocker to hold down the Foxy in that place. Blazing Duet used up, but guess what? It doesn't matter. The damage ain't even reaching the backline. Finally, excuse me, gets the first one now. Okun hopping back at the fight as well, but does not really have the curtains call. A big shutdown by Leroy, getting 2 of those people, but Baby Ari still making sure that she's answering back, maybe with a triple of her own. Kun barely breathing out there, and with that wave clear, excuse me, will also hop back, but there's still the Lord to be dealt with. The basic attacks of she's making sure to hit that crystal low in that HP as the Lapu will push the Claude off of there, but there's still a ton of minions to clear out, and they don't have enough. Zero Vision will get the first win in this BO3.
Wow, just wow. This performance was exactly what I was expecting from Zero Vision. On the other hand, that performance that I saw from Boars is not something I really expected. Truth be told, Zero Vision played very well. They exploited the weaknesses, and even though I didn't really like that comp, the thing to consider is it has so much more damage. Looking at it back now, in the draft, I was feeling they should have enough damage, but they didn't. Right now, we saw the game and they were lacking the damage department So I believe the better call would have been if they, instead of Hylos, locked in that Baxia roam and maybe picked up a threat in the jungle who could utilize that crazy burst coming from the other side as a tool to deal damage back onto them. Could be useful, maybe even some other picks, but they were definitely lacking damage. It was very clearly visible in the early trades where they were fighting, and Baby Irie, Double VN, and II, they were just getting kills, they were getting the stats, the golds, and unfortunately this game was too quick, but it highlighted one person on the team of Boars Queens for me. I knew about her even before, but Leroy, wow, what a performance. I know she has been on the losing team, and yes, she wasn't able to change the tide completely for the dub, but she was playing so wonderfully, even from a strong gold disadvantage. I want to give big props to Leroy, because with those plays, especially around the base push that was attended by the opponents and actually succeeded in the end, I really liked it. And by the way, Scared, look at that, no Trinity for Claude. I was thinking that you might be wrong.
Yeah, I agree. Kind of hopped onto my own dream world where normally, that's again my personal thing, that I normally go for the corrosion side first. It gives me the solo advantage, but that's the worst part of playing in the solo division. Coming down to this one game, right? Baby Irie on the other side of the spectrum went in for the Rose Gold Meteor first and then proceeded to get the next two items of the Trinity. If I'm not wrong, she prioritized the golden stuff first just to get the passive procced up as much as possible. So yeah, so that's a pretty solid micromanagement of the items, also considering the fact that her team was already up ahead so far in the goal lead that she didn't really mind delaying that Trinity. It was totally cool. She was already winning the lane, already way ahead of Claude on the other side. And at the end of the day, you just have to consider the fact that as much as I feel that maybe changing their composition slightly would have added a bit more damage, I still feel that it was just that early game mess up by underestimating the damage of a Yaya in the mid lane.
Absolutely, it was a strong underestimation. But on the same note, if you had a little bit more damage, maybe it wouldn't really be an underestimation. But yes, I agree. With what you had, you shouldn't have been really looking for those extended fights. You maybe should have been looking for Hylos to kind of run in, do a quick trade, go back, because he has a pretty big HP bar. That's what you should have been doing instead. But those drawn-out fights, you had no tools at your disposal. If we consider the opponents, they had Kari, she is very good in them. Yeah. And then they had Lapu, who even without his ult, still has passive. Kalia, she deals so much damage, even as a roamer. That's one of her biggest strengths that she has. That's why she has been so successful. So you need to consider all those things. We had a lovely run over both of the squads. As I mentioned before, both of them very, very stacked. Don't let it confuse you. The first game, it was just a warm-up for Boars Queens. I'm telling you, this is not ending in a 2-0. And even if this game will go crazy, I'm telling you right away, I don't believe Zero Vision will have such easy time as in the first one.
You know what? To be honest, I'm going to be sold for that as well, because they made it this far in such a manner where their lineup has already proved their potential. So I'm going to be totally open up for those surprises as well. Coming on to this one series now, Boars Queens are going to be on the blue side, so they will dictate the draft, while Zero Vision, being on the red side, kind of a force to answer back. Kajaban is interesting, I must say. Normally, I don't really see a lot of Kajas being picked up or banned out like that until and unless it is the second half of the draft. So maybe they've got a read onto Zero Vision.
I don't know how it was for you, but I've been attending some tournaments lately, and Kaja is super high prio ban or super high prio pick. Of course, not the highest level. I'm not really there, but it's definitely a hero that people find threatening. Oh, are we liking a ban from? Yeah, I guess it will come eventually. Boars Queens locking in that Valentina that you were mentioning before, so they have this powerhouse in their hands again. They definitely prioritize her a lot.
True, and on the back of it now. What do you answer with? Something that doesn't really give her a pretty valuable ultimate, while also making sure that your team stays relatively strong. Alright, they go in with the Zetian along with the carry, still prioritizing that, but the answer is a Grok and a Guinevere. To be honest, I kind of like that.
I have to support you with that statement because I already like the draft of Boars Queens much better than the last time. I know even last time I was saying it's decent, that I'm liking it more than Zero Vision, but now in retrospective we saw something go wrong, we saw something go well, and I feel like if this was the team comp they were rocking.
Yeah. Now, running it all the way down, what do you lock in to try and counter what has been thrown on your face? Now, since there's an initiation comp on the other side, right, you can either go in for a very tanky route, which can deny all those engage possibilities, or you can go for something like the iframes of the Suyu was left open, and on the back of that, you initially, or rather instantly, ban out the Leslie. Don't want to give that range, and yes, I agree, she can be a very hard counter for both carry as well as the Claude in the lane.
Do we know which map we have? Because if this is Deadly Bushes, it could be super good for Boars Queens. If it's not, it's still alright, but if it is, ooh, those bushes would be extra deadly. Leslie being banned, the answer is Hilda. You don't really... Alright, if we are going for Hilda ban, I'm expecting a Yisan Shin pickup from Boars Queens if Zero Vision don't ban it, because Hilda is a typical answer into Yisan Shin, but of course Zero Vision probably know that as well, so I think he is going to be banned. I think it has to be. Like, if they don't see it, I would be really surprised.
Let's see though. Hilda taken care of. What else do you want to go with that can actually hamper your composition? Maybe something that can also provide a ton of utility
against
initiation.
All right.
Yeah, they went out for a CC ban.
Oh, I believe I'm reading it wrong. Of course, it's Guinevere jungle. Yeah, I'm still thinking in the ranked view of things, where usually Gwyn is going into the gold lane, which XP lane, which obviously is not the thing. Don't worry, not gold lane scared. I thought you had a stroke for a second. Don't worry, XP lane. Of course, man.
It's fine. Guinevere gold lane still makes a little bit of a sense than my Louis gold, which I sometimes like to pull. Yeah,
all right, but scared. Come on, let's focus on real mlbb. Yeah, no trolls, no Louis gold, no Guinevere's gold. All right, Hylos, decent ban. He could be threatening because if we look at Zero Vision, they really want to move in as an avalanche, and if that avalanche is riding at you at 100 kilometers per hour, well, good luck running away. And that's exactly what Boars Queens thought. They are banning Hylos for that particular reason, and Zero Vision now need to think what they really want to lock in. I think they
Lapo or
will.
Yujong.
Go on.
Either a Lapo or maybe a Yujong. One of those two.
But isn't Yuzong kinda worse in a sense that Valentina can steal his ult? Because I believe she gets his spells as well.
Yeah, she does, but she doesn't get the sustain. So that is
Oh,
where
she
the
doesn't have the
problems begin
passive?
for her.
She doesn't have the passive?
Yeah, she doesn't get the sustain per se. Like, she doesn't really have that much HP as a Yu Zhong. So that is where the problems begin. But they kind of go on a different route with a similar idea. They still went for a dive, but in the form of an Alice with a Thorn of Ruin. So it's all cool. Now, Boars Queen, what are you looking to try and stop all of that? You've already got the Quinn and a Grok for the dive. Valentina's gonna lock in the Phoenix Fury for now. So maybe you yourself go in for either the Yujong or a Lapu. Both might work. Plus, Yujong can get the passive off of Zetian really easily in his Black Dragon form.
Yeah. He doesn't even get pushbacks, so he can just fly on top of her.
He flies. So you can't push someone that's actually flying already.
Yeah, I really like Yuzhong, because what could end up happening if you lock in Yuzhong is that, alright, or it's Uranus. Uranus, okay. I am not a fan. I have to say I'm not a fan, because you are locking in even more tanky lineup when you already see Curry. And yes, you need some front line, but if this front line was, for example, Yuzhong or Lapu, then it's a little bit more hard for Curry to just kind of free hit them. And Uranus, I find Uranus to, I'm not a carry player myself, but I find Uranus to be one of the easiest heroes to deal with as a carry. Of course, if he is not overfed.
Yeah. So here's the scenario with dealing with carry. You either just don't really care about her and pick something off that can instantly shut her down, like a burst with the Kadita, maybe you go in with a Kalia comps, maybe you pick something like the Chose or a Kaja, just to make sure that the carry isn't really getting that time to freely hit everyone, or she's just getting deleted instantly as soon as the fight begins, or you simply pick up something that can eat up her entire speedy light wheel's duration. So that is going to be the job of Oaken on that Uranus right now, because ladies and gentlemen, she needs to fulfill that role perfectly while pairing up with Excuse Me on the Claude, just to make sure that they can force a game number 3 by clearing out this one instantly against Zero Vision, because if they win, then it's going to be 2-0. And we'd potentially see Zero Vision move forward in their group. So it's a do or die technically for both of these teams, ladies and gentlemen, as we move back in the land of Dawn in the Female Pro League Season 1, Frozen Diva.
Absolutely wonderful introduction to this Land of Dawn matchup. But I would like to correct you a little bit, because for Boars Queens, it's not really do or die, because they will be still playing one matchup more, so they can still fix it if this goes wrong.
That is true.
Of course, it will be against Monstars, so they will have to be careful, but they will have that opportunity for themselves. Verify on Aya, WVN rocking that mid prio. Uranus. Yeah, I have to see it. I think this is the same story as when I was casting with Synchro, and I didn't really like Kimi with Kalia, and I was proven so wrong because it works so well. So it didn't really align with my past experiences. This time, I think it's kind of similar. I really have to see how useful can Uranus be as the beefcake, and how well can he match the damage of Curry with his sustain. Because, as you were mentioning, if he can eat up all the damage, all the speedy light wheels, well, without ult, Carry is still decent, but not as decent.
Exactly, because that's where Claude will get the priority by his own basic attacks as well. A ton of lifesteal thanks to the Trinity, and then adding on top of that, you also have got the Art of Thievery stacks, which help him move really fast, attack really fast across the map. If you got the 5 stacks, then that is perfect. Out here right now, as both teams move back into the turtle pit, you've got Zero Vision for now controlling. Guardian's barrier deployed, but it doesn't matter. All of them have just been zoned out by Velvet. No problem whatsoever for her. And that is the strength of this Alice when she picks up, because unless the Trinity is completed by Excuse Me, she is going to free roam throughout the map.
I know the gold is kinda even, but you have to see one super important major fact for this game, and that is that Sunlight, she almost has level 6, whereas Foxy, she doesn't even...
Oh, there was an opportunity out there for Foxy with that level 4, but hold on, the Fury of the Phoenix used up. And with that, Sunlight is the first one to get someone, but a good knock-up coming in from the spatial migration with just Apricot running back to safety. Speedy Light Fields out in the open with Baby Irie. Now trying to get that mid-wave, but the damage has been done. Boars Queen, hop back.
I'm quite happy I didn't really, I don't know, bet on something today, because I'm so wrong about everything. Just when I say that Sunlight is level 6 and Foxy isn't even level 5, look at them! Foxy plays a teamfight like a goddess of gaming. Like, what was that, Foxy? She went crazy. She went back in, then back out, then went back in again. This was beautiful. My eyes are so happy to witness this.
Because this is exactly what the entire composition of Boars Queens is about. That you go in for the engage, you try and bait out all of those skills, and then you hop back. And then guess what? You're ready for the re-engage, because you've got the Uranus, you've got Foxy. If anything, the only one who will be really all dependent would be Excuse Me.
Well, what?
Because even Lixie can constantly pop in those knockups. Hold on. Thorn of Ruin. Ordered 3 people, but was only able to catch up the clone of Guinevere, and now Velvet. Kind of eating up a ton of damage there, but the Leroy doesn't really have her skills off cooldown so easily. It's another turtle for Zero Vision, so they try and increase the gold back up though, and they want to go in for the invade as well. Again, Fish Crack up on the faces as well, along with the Phoenix Fury. But guess what? On the back of that, you only get 1. With the Blazing Duet drop down now in front of 5 people, you're still trying to get 1. And Excuse Me gets deleted though. Backline trade of Ayaya is taken down by Okun. It's a 1-for-2 trade at least. They get something. Maybe more. Sunlight. Just running away, the slither of her HP. Okun drops the flicker to hop on her face, but will be bursted down by the towers. She overstayed her welcome, kind of overcommitted there, and that shutdown is big.
This play was straight up too emotional from Okun. I get it, she's in a rough position, her team is losing, she wants to make a difference. Sunlight, she's a big shutdown on her, but this is not it. At the same time, it's Uranus. If he falls a little bit behind, it's alright, it's to be expected. He is not a hero that needs a very expensive build. His typical build is one of the cheapest probably in the XP lane, because yes, there are other tanks as well, but some of the tanks need some damage components, whereas for Uranus, it's just full tank, you don't really care. Double.
Oh. Right now, Apricot's got to be hopping back off as well with the Blazing Duet used up just to clear out the minions, though. Look at the damage! Sunlight instantly shutting him down with the Evil Queller. This is the kind of damage that Suyu is always known for. And guess what? Now that level advantage is also going to hit up again with the Evil Queller drop down. Instantly soul severing out of there. Sunlight trying to shut down Foxy. She won't be allowed in her own purple buff right now. No red tree to be used up there. Yes, the bottom tier 1 has been taken out, but I don't think so. Zero Vision would actually care about that. They are focused down on the turtle now.
The clock is ticking, and it's not ticking in the favor of Boars Queens. The longer this game goes on, Carrie will be even deadlier, and if your Uranus will keep making some of those hasty mistakes, maybe a little bit... Oh, there's a fight.
Dawn of Ruin trying to catch someone though, but again, it's just the fake Guinevere, just the clone Okun. Kind of far ahead there. Tech charge onto 1. It's only Sunlight, but the Phoenix Fury landing in on 4 just does the job so very well. Lixie cannot run away. And it's all down to Okun to brute force front line up for her team. But there is no one to front line for. The backline's been deleted just like that. And now the bottom tier 1 will also be taken up while Zero Vision win the fight in mid lane. They're winning it on every single front.
Every single fight they are taking, they are winning. Other than that scuffle in the beginning of the game, that was the only kind of a rocky moment for Zero Vision, and I praised highly Boars Queens for that play, but other than that, they weren't successful really in anything they did. This last fight, this was such a tragic story for them because there was a lot of discourse in the team, probably not the best shot calling, or maybe they were having discussion what to do because it's a lot of stress, you are thinking about all the angles, but they were not on the same page. Someone was somewhere in the book, someone was elsewhere. It didn't really work out the way they wanted. Grog, yes, he ulted. I believe Grog got like 2 or maybe 3 targets, but then there was a Liz on your backline and your backline couldn't really join you. The Grog needs to keep that in mind, and he is keeping that in mind with that play in mid lane.
Yeah, I wanted to try and catch her eye out there, but she just flickered out of the harm's way. And I believe that is the first few times you've actually seen her use that flicker. Most of the times her positioning is such that it's always been pretty good and difficult to catch her. Okun, I don't think so she can take that poke for much longer. Had to pop in the consecration as well. Again, they're just bullied out of the river, out of the Lord pit, and this Lord should go to Zero Vision for free.
You give it. There is nothing else you can do. You don't really have frontline because Grog, he doesn't have the resources because he's a roamer, and you are not winning. Your XP laner, he doesn't have the resources because he is a Uranus and he didn't win the lane, which of course not really an issue of Uranus per se of the player, but oh, double.
Could be in trouble. Leroy, though, for the first one to be falling down there with Baby already catching the next. A good Violet Requiem, but guess what? There's no one to do the damage, and Okun tried to sustain through it all. But everyone behind her kept on falling like dominoes, and with that, all they can do is just watch the ball rolling at the floor because they are just the Skittles being destroyed by that.
This looked like the Skittles got ran over by a tank. Oh my lord. Chassis Powder being picked up for double VN. The play could have been seen from a mile away, at least from the spectate. The thing is, when did they see double VN? When did they saw her? If they saw her and it was too late already, or if they had some reaction time to consider to do Okun. Ooh. Yeah, this is a rough spot, this is a rough patch. But Dank using his ultimate. Foxy.
Venting going in for the Violet Requiem as well, though. Thorn of Froin in the back with 3, but the Blazing Duet is enough to shut down Wilvet up top, though. Double kill coming in for Sunlight. And low HP on Lixie will not be enough for her to survive. A triple kill for Sunlight. Will she go for the Maniac as well? Leroy up there. Pretty low, Sunlight. She's just hard baiting her out right now. I don't think so. She has the skills. The Speedy Light fields are up already. They're trying to end the game right away, and Zero Vision will win against Bogs Gaming 2-0. And that, my man, is the performance of the strong Divas.
The plot thickens, I would like to say, because wow.
That's what I'll say.
Exiting the group stage when eventually we get there, because there we are definitely behind. The half of the group stage is definitely behind us, so we are moving into the couple of last matchups. This will be pretty personal for Boars Gaming or Boars Divine if they meet Zero Vision, because Zero Vision showing up in force like that against one of their squads, this is going to be emotional to a T.
Yeah. And again, came down to that early control, those early skirmishes. And this time it's going to be Apricot winning out the entire thing, getting the MVP as well for herself. 11.9 out of that medal, 2-0 and 15. And look at her build. With just a Silence Robe up, she went in for the Dominant Size and then the Chastis Pauldron. already lowering down the effect of excuse me in those fights. And fun fact, I saw her make the Demon Hunter sword at 7.5 minutes into the game, probably like 7.25 in, and that is pretty late for her to complete that first item, considering that she needs to get that Trinity as quickly as possible. So I kind of realized at that point that she's probably gone in for the Swift Crossbow as well. Instead of completing the Corrosion Sight fully first, she went in for that half item, then went in for the Demon Hunter Sword, then Golden Staff into the Corrosion Sight, so she doesn't take as much time to do all of that. 6,100 gold for her, but doesn't matter. Baby Irie on the other side was just far ahead in the entire thing. And here's the thing, she went in for the build up item of Rose Gold Meteor that gives you shield as well, and once she completed that, she simply just went in for the Trinity and then made sure to complete the Rose Gold Meteor so she doesn't delay her Trinity by a lot of margin. And this is exactly what, Claude tried to do, but she just couldn't complete it because they lost the entire early game, and Zero Vision had everything.
I wouldn't necessarily say that they lost the entire early game, but yeah, they lost a big chunk of early game. It started off very, very good. Yes, Suyo, he's been consistently still in form, you couldn't really contest that, you realized that, and you played it safe. Then you waited for your moment and you played a wonderful fight in mid lane. But after that fight in mid lane, I mean, everything went to hell, everything went bad, then a lot of emotions in the team, which is understandable. You really want to kind of hold the banner upright because there is so much pressure, honestly, on Boars Queens. Yes, there is definitely pressure on Zero Vision, but there is so much pressure on Boars Queens because Boars Divine, they already finished their group first. Boars Gaming, they already finished their group first as well. And now it's Boars Queens' job to kind of do the same, to kind of stand up to the moniker of Boars Gaming as an organization. So I see a lot of pressure being put on them, especially that moment with Uranus. It was clearly visible. They don't really had their heads screwed on the right way after the first lose. After the first lose, I think they got distracted, they got nervous, and there were moments and they played very well. I highlighted Valentina in the first game. I would like to highlight Foxy for that beautiful play in mid lane. But other than that, there wasn't just enough.
I agree. Yeah, things were looking really, really tough for them. And on the back of that, right, the entire thing has now been completed. As Vision will be the first ones to qualify from their group. But here's the thing, in the Group A and Group B, all you need to do is just make sure you end up in the top 2 position, right? So Boars Queens still have one more chance, and same could be said for Monsters. If they end up being in the top 2, then they will qualify. And it's going to be the matchup of Boars Queens against Monsters next time, and I am pretty sure Helicopters will be taking on Angels as well, side by side, because if Helicopters win, they move to the second spot, and they force Phantoms out of there, so they qualify. But if Angels win, I think so Phantoms will be the one who will stay up there, and they will be the ones to qualify. So every single thing depends on what's the result of Helicopters and Angels.
Why would you think that, Scared? I think if Angels win, it will come down to a 3-way stats battle, and who has the better stats or the statistics, right? That's the team that will qualify eventually. So it will be a coin toss, probably. I don't know if the stats are public, so I don't really know. But yeah, there's definitely a system. We were talking about it before. There is a system. We just cannot tell you the details. Probably you will know it when it's important. Don't mind about it now. What you should mind about right now is that on one hand, as Scared rightfully mentioned, Monsters and Boars Queens still have the chance to make it. But right now, we should all focus on Food Esports against Bring In Bats, because those two teams, they didn't match up each other yet. We can only fantasize about their skill levels because they both matched Sphinxes. And both of them showed a dominant BO3. I believe they didn't drop a single game. Both of the 2-0s were very, very strong on their side. But as we mentioned, Food Esports, it was just a little bit more clean. It was a little bit more coherent, a little bit better team cohesion. So let's see how well Bringing Bats can stand up to Food Esports.
As you rightfully mentioned, it indeed was a 2-0. We saw Foot Esports all the way a couple of weeks back, if I'm not wrong, play against the Sphinxes. So yes,
Yeah.
their performance was dominating. Bringing Bats themselves brought in the exact same level of aggression in that entire game. So I absolutely like that. Now it's going to be the winner of this game will qualify from Group D. So if it's Bringing Bats winning against Foot, they move forward. If it's Foot winning against Bringing Bats, then they move forward. So here as well, I wouldn't exactly say it's a do or die, but yes, it is a battle for qualification. And the one who wins it has got a straight chance. The one who does not will then have to rely on all of those stats, statistics, permutations, combinations, and a ton of few things there. So it is going to be tough out as we have one more look at all of the participating teams too. And let's be honest, man. Boars Divine, Boars Queen, Boars Gaming, Lovely Target, Bringing Bad, Crimson Onyx, Foot, Helicopters, Phantoms, Angels, Zero, Vision, Witch Please, and Sphinxes. All of these people have showcased some really good mlbb.
Oh yes, absolutely. But some of the mlbb was just a little better than others. For example, Lovely Target and Bitch Please, and I believe Crimson Onyx as well. They can only hope to get qualified through the stats because right now they are not in the battle for the straight qualification. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that's how it is.
Yep.
The rest is still battling it out. But the hope is not lost. The hope is not lost because, as Scared rightfully mentioned, how many teams? 2, 3? How many teams was it?
Yeah, I mean, right now it's going to be 2 teams who will qualify based on those statistics. 6 teams from direct qualification by
Alright.
the positions that they have in the groups, right? So it's like 2 teams from Group A and B, and then 1 team from Group C and D.
All right.
Each.
All right.
So
Oh,
that's
so
6
it's 4
teams
actually.
qualifying.
Oh, no.
It's six. Yeah, like 2 from
Yeah,
Group
I
A,
got
2
it.
from Group
I
B,
got
so that's total 4. And C and D, 1 more each. It's fine. I have that. I have that as well sometimes.
Wait,
I
so
know
you
that I don't
so you
experience
kinda
it.
are battling even against the other groups, because if you cannot make it
Yep.
through your own group system, then you will be paired up against everyone else from all the groups. Ooh, that's interesting.
Yes.
That's really interesting. So it kind of depends how
I agree.
strong was the group that you were in by itself. All right, yeah, I see. Well, we will see eventually who will be the teams, but let's not talk about that just yet, because we could only fantasize, we could only imagine. But what do you imagine when you see Marcel locked in? Because I imagine a lot of pain. I hate that guy. I hate how. I mean, let me rant for a
Ooh,
bit,
here's
all
the
right?
thing.
Let me rant for a
Go
bit.
ahead.
Like, he has a stun that he gives you just by touching you, and he has a dash, and he has a AoE stun with, it's actually a suppression kind of, because I don't believe you can block it with anything, so it's kind of a suppression. I don't know. I hate Moontooth for that. Like, there were heroes that I didn't like, but Marcel, when he is in enemy team, I am furious. What about you, Scared?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I kind of like Marcel as long as he's in my team, so I'm fine with that.
Yeah, well, that's
If he's in the enemy team, I just try to make sure that I'm in between 5 people. So like I've got a claw that I'm going winter crowning thingy, just to make sure that if I am frozen in that ultimate, everyone else around me also is. So I'm kind of evil in that department. But yeah, it's, to be honest, after such a long time, we're actually seeing a really, really mechanical and pretty nice hero from Moontown, because most of the other scenarios where we actually got a few of them, to be honest, it was kind of not too much skill dependent, but more like how can you pair this one up with your team, right? So that kind of thing. With the Kalia, I was like, all right, now they're going in with the Cho idea once again. You want someone who can pick off, and that's gonna include all those pick off compositions now, also having a slight bit of heal. So I did like the idea of Kalia, and with Marcel as well, I'm kind of liking that because you can pair him up with so many good heroes. That becomes super fun.
Don't get me wrong, the design, if we look just at the design, the design is fun. Don't get me wrong, the ultimate, I never saw that in any MOBAs. Some people that are more knowledgeable from me, they can definitely tell me if something like that exists in some other MOBAs. But I myself have played plenty of MOBAs, and I never saw a guy or a girl with a mechanic that kind of holds the skill shots in a place, and then it pops them the way they were supposed to land, they were supposed to go. So it kind of creates this very interesting mechanic of, all right, you catch a guy, and it's not just about catching the guy. You catch the guy, and if there is a Granger, if there is a Changey, if there is someone else, but those are definitely the two bests I came across, one of the two bests that I came across, and they just pop the shots right in. The target gets bursted.
Yeah.
You can react to it if you are fast enough. If you are like a Suyo or someone who can survive that by dodging, by iframing, something like that. But the way that it's done, it's like so exciting. So from that part,
True.
I get it. It's a lot of fun. But when I'm on the receiving end, he's not really Marcel. He is, I don't know, man. Like, he's the devil brother of Marcel. I don't know.
He becomes that random Gushin player in your lobby that doesn't really know how to hit the combinations, but it's just throwing skill 2s around, right? The Shadow Blade Slaughter. And the amount of damage that it deals is just nuts, so you instantly die if you're a squishy. So it gets annoying. Marcel, on the other hand, is kind of like the same thing as well. Fun fact, he comes from the exact same house. It is House Paxley. Trust me, this House Paxley has shown us some pretty nasty heroes.
Isn't Eamon in there?
All right. Yes, exactly. Eamon is the big brother
and
of
Melissa.
Eamon Paxley.
And Melissa, right?
Yeah, I think so. Melissa is in there as well. You've got Valentina. You've got Marcel.
Yeah,
Quite a few people in House Paxley. That's all I'm saying. And I think so. We're still short of a few more there.
Man, I'm telling you, like, this house, it's pure evil. Like, if you will follow up with Alucard being from this house too, like, I'm done, bro. I'm done. It's just all the mean heroes.
I don't think so. Alucard Paxley sounds good either way. So let's just keep him into the Monian army and let him deal with Deroth. Yeah, we're fine with that. Let all those people do their own thing. But yeah,
by the way, did you see the leaks? Did you see the leaks, Scared?
Of the new hero? I think so. I did. You know what? I'm actually gonna hop onto the advanced server right now just to see him.
Him?
Server,
come on, we are on Frozen Diva, and you butcher that? She is a lovely lady. How can you do that, Scared?
Because I don't know. I think so. They were. I probably saw someone else then, maybe. All I'm happy about is that advanced server is giving Hanabi a buff. All right.
Oh, they are. When she is even coming to the pro play, because she has been played in MPL Philippines, and also she is probably one of the highest. Yeah, I just that other day I saw a video from one of the casters from our lovely squad. You probably know who I mean, and he was mentioning that Hanabi is one of the top picks in ranked. I think she has like 3% pick rate or something.
Yeah, she is.
So, and that's in Mythical Honor, by the way, mind you. Mythical Honor plus 3% pick rate. So that's definitely impactful.
You'd rather want to ban her out at this point, because I normally would play her with a crit build, right? But then when I tried down the Trinity build, holy smokes. Yeah, you do not want to be on the receiving end of that. It is just nuts at this point. So I'm pretty sure you'd not want to play her in that position. On the other end of the spectrum, let me see which hero you were talking about, right side by side. Oh, also,
I was talking about
fun.
Clara, and I hope I wasn't like AI baited or something, But there is literally a news page written about it. And they even have a guide. What? Already?
All right. Let me see. Let me see. We go on to the heroes. Let's see the most new one. What they've kind of changed the portrait of Franco. Yeah, Hirara. There it's Hirara. What?
Yeah, her
what
ultimate
does
is
she do?
literally
Assassin. All right.
called Hurt. No.
Oh,
That's,
right.
that's
Forbidden Jutsu. No, wait, hold on. Yeah, no, that is not Hirara. She's. Oh, hold on. It's got Forbidden Jutsu. Is she from the same part as Hayabusa and Hanabi?
yeah, possibly. Her design definitely looks like that. I think so. Yeah, it's quite possible.
Yeah, I am definitely gonna play her. Looks really solid. Oh yeah, she's that hero with which you can combine multiple skills and then you can cast the enhanced skills, right? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I did see a bit of that, to be honest.
You could say that a similar depth of gameplay to Suyo, something like that, probably.
I mean, kind of different, to be honest, because it's like if you want to combine skill 1 and skill 2, you have to hold your skill 1 and drag it to your skill 2, and then it releases an enhanced skill. So it's a very new mechanic, to be honest, entirely different from anything else that we've technically seen in the game. And to be honest, I haven't been this excited about the new micro with a particular hero than I was excited about 1-1.
But do you realize, Care, that she's literally going to be another Gushin or something like that?
Could possibly be that case, man. To be honest, I don't even mind at this point.
Well, but let's focus our yapping a little bit more on the product that you are watching, because of course this is brought by ESEL, and ESEL isn't doing only Frozen Diva. Actually, Frozen Diva is their secondary product, because their first product has been Fast Cups. Because one smart guy who's behind the Vault project had an idea. You know what? Like, I want to play a tournament with my friends, with my other good player friends, and all the tournaments, they are taking so long, man. Like, I play for 3 days, you know, like it's taking so long. So they came up with an idea of Fast Cap. So Fast Cap is here for you. The specialty of the tournament is that it's happening actually, I believe, twice a week, right? Twice a week. And also the second part is that it only takes 1 day. So you register, you play, it's only 1 day, you get through the early stages of the bracket up to the grand finals itself. It's as well streamed, so you can make some TikTok highlights if you are good. And that's the flagship. But that's not the only thing, right, Scared? Because they also do something else. They just recently started doing that. Tell me more about it.
Yeah, I mean, I've been kind of liking the Unbroken tournament as well. That is on this channel on Mondays and Fridays. And fun fact, it is only for the Ukrainian teams and also just for the Ukrainian commentators. So we've also got to give a huge shout out to David Dov. I hope that is the correct name, and oh my god, I really hope I don't lose my job over this. But yeah, he also shows up and he casts sometimes, and that kind of shows you the dedication in the entire organization itself and how much they want to grow the entire scene alongside with Europe as well. So they've been doing a pretty solid job as well. So a huge shout out to ESCL for managing all of that. And on the other side of the spectrum, we've already got the Premier Pro League going on. You mentioned already about those Fast Cups going on as well. So it's been really solid, and to be honest, it feels really nice to be a part of such an experience, and that's that, man. But I see what you just typed there, Warren. All right, yeah. Let's hope that is not really the case.
But, I'm just stating the facts.
I really hope that is not. But all right. Guess what, people? I know for all the people who are waiting out, when are we going to start bringing Bads versus FUT Esports? The players have started joining the lobby, so we'll be hopping in the game pretty soon. And in the meantime, I'm just going to try and learn more about Hirara, Warren, because here's the thing. Her passive gives her 4 stacks, right? kind of like Freya, she's got 6 stacks, right? Hirara has got 4, but they regenerate on their own. It takes 4 seconds to regenerate all of the stacks. So it's not one after the other, it's all 4 at once. Hopefully, probably that is going to be the case. But the main thing is that in order to cast a skills, you don't need mana, you don't need energy, you need those stacks. You cast a skill 1, you consume 1 stack. You cast a skill 2, you consume 1 stack. You combine skill 1 and skill 2 and then you cast it, that consumes 2 stacks. And at the same time, she kind of also applies certain mark of crimson and death onto the enemy. So you kind of, if by her skill 1 you apply a crimson mark, by her skill 2 you apply a death mark, and once the enemy has both the marks, they will be immobilized for 0.8 seconds. Now that is just as long as Hanabi's Higanbana, so that is pretty decent, to be honest.
I mean, I like the beautiful TLDR that's been put up on that page, upon which I'm reading, because I like that part. Hyper fast, high APM gameplay, mechanically demanding, damage dealer. Yes, sweaty, high risk outplays. Exactly my type of hero. Recently, I started playing Paquito, and man, I'm not looking back. Like right now, I'm sitting at like 46% win rate, so it's not going the best, but I'm having so much fun, man. Like I don't think I ever had so much fun playing MLBB.
Man, to be honest, I've been spamming Claude at this point. I just want to get that global rank with him right now. I'm probably in my top 20 country ranking people, so I'm still gonna push it a bit more to try and get those rankings. But at the same time, yeah, getting that world rank is going to be the main aim, while at the same time I push to Metal Gear Immortal 200 stars or something, man, because guess what, I'm kind of getting bored. But time to bring us the action, ladies and gentlemen, so that you guys who've been waiting patiently with us for such a long time can actually get your popcorns, get your cold drinks, get those refills, because it's going to be an action-packed game in front of us as Bringing Bad's roster is out here. Short, Shilan, Beba, Kage, and Lady. All of them are going to be pretty... again, we've seen them previously. They've already won 1 game. So this is going to be an important game for them.
1 series they won. I think that's a very important difference to highlight. But right now, they will have a much tougher opponent. Because their opponents... they've been bathed in fire. They've been through a lot of stuff. They've been through a lot of opponents. They are very experienced. It's a very strong roster that you definitely have to consider as one of the runner-ups for a possible victory on this whole tournament itself. And that is, of course, Foot Esports that we should be having. But before we have them, let's talk about Beba, because I really like her gameplay. I really like her style. From what we saw from her, she has been very dominating. She has been kind of the director of the game. She's been moving where she wants, and she's been creating the plays for the team. That's what I really liked. That performance is something you really want from a roamer. You want that roamer to kind of be creating the space, to be choosing the tempo of the game, and that's what Beba has been delivering. So I really want to see that coming into their matchup, but as I mentioned, it will be much harder, it will be much tougher, because scared. It's Foot Esports, it's Miyako, Kujo, Nora, Unohana, Zendaya. Those are 5 lovely ladies that are here today to not be lovely, to not be nice. They are here to wreak havoc, to be bloodthirsty, to go crazy, to destroy their opponents, because this is Foot Esports. And not only does their logo look super good, but their gameplay as well.
It's going to be really interesting to see how they fare up against Bringing Bad, right? Because as we've already discussed about, right, winners will qualify. And the ones who fail to win would eventually have to pray for the mercy of other teams to make sure that their stats are better than theirs so that they can move forward. So you'd rather want to just qualify after winning this best of 3 than to stay dependent on someone else kind of messing up. So it's going to be interesting to see how these people pair out against them, right? Because I'll be honest, I wasn't here witnessing the game itself when Foot Esports played previously, but I think so. I kind of went over the stream once to have a quick look at the game, and man, the coordination, it looked super flawless.
Flawless. That's one way to look at it, and probably the most correct way to look at it. And I think it's a great motto, great mojo to follow if you are one of those teams, because both of those teams are teams of such a caliber that mistakes, they are not gonna fly by. If you make a mistake, you will get punished for it, and if you will make more than one mistake, you will probably lose a game over it. This is the level of the competition we have right here, right now.
Yeah. It's going to be, as you already mentioned, right, that it's a pretty tough competition out, so it's going to be one mistake and you're out. You've got to make sure that you're winning almost every single one of those games. And we've already seen Foot previously, man, so they kind of have the same thing. But man, we're still waiting for all the girls to get ready and hop on into the lobbies as well. And sometimes they take a little bit too much time. But it's all fine. All we want is just a pretty solid game up in front of us. So I'm totally cool for waiting.
Yeah, I guess no one really told them that they are not on webcams, man. They didn't need to put so much effort into the preparation. They don't need to look nice. They just need to play nice. You know? Like it's the gameplay. It's the gameplay that will speak for them.
True. And to be honest, I kind of think that we've been watching them since quite a while, right? So yeah, I'd have to say they have been doing a pretty solid job. Guess what? I've already started practicing Hirara here. To be honest, she's pretty good. Yeah, she looks pretty good. But I don't want to play her in the jungle, man.
Yeah, that's my biggest beef with Hirara, because I think she's aimed at the jungle. Like, honestly, come on, can we get like heroes for any other lane? Like, what? Like let me just go over the last heroes, because I feel like we've been getting only, or okay, all right, not only jungle. Okay, yeah, I'm so wrong. I'm so wrong. I felt like Suyo came recently, but no, there has been 6 heroes after him. So yeah, I'm really wrong. I'm really wrong. I guess jungler was on. Yeah, jungler had to come. Jungler had to come, because last jungler that we had, if we don't count Lucas, because honestly he isn't really played. Like yeah, some people play him, but when he was played competitively, he wasn't really played in the jungle. He was played more in XP. So if you don't count him, jungler was on the way. It had to be. It had to be jungle, but they are lately showing a lot of love to roam position, because Chip, Kalia, Marcel, I mean, roamers are eating good tonight.
Meanwhile, I'm still waiting for another marksman.
You get Obsidia, man. You get Obsidia. What do you want? Like last,
how much she is usable in the games, my man. She has received a buff and her pick rate still is not going up. I'm telling you, she's super underwhelming right now.
Scared, but you are looking at it completely wrong. You actually got a marksman, but it's not who you think it is. Because Moontoon played a trick on us. They thought we wouldn't realize, but we are smart cookies and you should be too. Sora is actually a secret marksman, and you should use it until you can before they nerf it. And you, the viewers, you should do the same. Sora, gold lane, free elo. No one in gold knows how to play against him. You just get ult, thunder form, easy one shot.
Most of the people in gold don't know how to play with him. So,
all right.
Yeah, it's rather nothing.
So you threw everyone under the bus, and you just basically said that everyone playing your lane is very bad mechanically at the game.
Yeah, most of the people in here, they don't know how to play gold lane, man. Just saying. Yeah, I'm throwing all of them under the bus, and it's only fair for me to throw them under the bus, because that is what's been happening. Man, this hero is actually pretty complicated, I won't lie.
I mean, she should be complicated. What did you expect, Scare? Did you think that a hero with multiple combination of spells will be easy? That's what you expected when you were loading into the game?
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure it all out, right? Because her ultimate gives her 2 extra stacks on the passive, right? So normally you have 4 stacks, but her ultimate gives you 6 stacks. So now you can cast 3 combined skills back to back. So that is like a ton of damage that you're dealing, and her ultimate has got a very short cooldown. So it's more or less like you hop in, you get the poke, and then you instantly hop out, and then you go back again in like 10 seconds? I mean, if you're a Claude, you'd still be fighting with the demons, and eventually there'd be a Herara trying to kill you for the second time in that fight. Yeah, that's something. Man.
Well, let's hope that when she gets released, she will not be broken.
Maybe they'll just underwhelm her damage. We don't know. We'll have to wait for that, man. But at the same time, we've already discussed about all the teams, right? Maybe I just want to hop on there and get the confirmation of the pronunciation of those names, because we at least got excuse me right. So that
Yeah, you actually you cooked with that. I didn't realize, but it was actually much easier than I thought.
Holy smokes, man! This is so difficult to play. The Zilong is gonna kill me. That is a bot Zilong, by the way.
Yeah, did you catch Aulus rework?
No, you know what? Now I'm just gonna check him as well now.
You did not catch Aulus rework. He literally, instead of being me with a long beard, he literally became Pagu, aka he became beautiful.
Oh my god! Wow. All right. Yeah. To be honest, I kind of had a look at what they've done to him. So yeah, I'm technically looking forward to see how this one's gonna be panning out. But at the same time, I just feel that I don't know, man. To be honest, he's actually gonna be used up a lot more now. He's really good.
Aulus definitely needed that kind of a new spice to him. I don't necessarily see why they made him into an anime protagonist, but I guess it goes more in line with every other hero in MLBB because, man, I don't know if you were following my latest creations on TikTok, but I've been really trying hard to find a bold hero in MLBB, but there is not a single one. The closest we have to a bold hero is Akai, because he's a panda, but he isn't really bald. He has fur. He has fur in there.
He's got fur all around his body. Fur is nothing but hair.
Yeah.
So if anything, you picked out the hero that has the most hair around his body.
Yeah, the only thing I actually have other than Akai is Franco, because he might be hiding a bald spot under the helm. He might be hiding it there. But I cannot prove it. Let
me look at that from this thing. All right, dynamic poster. Do we have some kind of vision on this dude? Nah, bro, he's got some pretty solid hair. You just turn him around in his normal model, and you'll see under his helmet, he's got quite a good amount of hair.
But he can have a bald spot, like. He has hair, but he has a bald spot. He's hiding it with the helmet.
If you don't see it, that means it ain't there. Plus, he's got a skin as well. The skin's name is Apocalypse, and he's got that blue spiky hair. So,
all right.
He's got hair.
So I guess, yeah. Well, then my thesis is right because we have no bald heroes. So
hey, check now.
I'm still waiting. I thought Balmond was my guy. But Balmond, damn, he has even more hair than everyone else. Because I don't know if you ever trying to get dreadlocks, but dreadlocks actually need much more hair than normal hair. And from the looks of it, Balmond is rocking that. So,
what? Why did you even think about Bane though? He's an octopus.
Yeah, but can octopus be bald?
Yeah.
Can he?
Yes.
All right. So you are telling me
have hair.
You are telling me that the fighter that I detest the most And I refused to buy him, even though he costs only 6,000 battle points. 6,000. And when I had the discount with Golden Month, he costed like 10 diamonds. And I still didn't buy him, even though I could. You are telling me that he is the only single dude who represents me.
Yeah, I mean, because he doesn't have hair.
Well,
Grok doesn't have hair. Grok is literally just a rock. He doesn't have hair. Atlas doesn't have hair. But again, he's another octopus. Where's someone else? Let me see. Johnson and Alpha. I just have to see, is it me who's actually stuck or is it Warren? Let me open YouTube. Yeah, I think it's Warren. Man just decided to hop off as soon as he heard that Bane represents him. Because it's from the same ball timeline. But yeah, no, I don't. Oh my god. Aldous could technically be considered as bald as well, by the way, people. I mean, if all of you people are also watching, just comment down in the section as well, man. Because we've got to find someone who can represent Warren in the game. So type it out in the comment section. Who do you think that is going to be? Because we're still hunting for that. Thamus can also be considered as bald, though, because he literally doesn't have hair. He's lava personified into something. Yeah, I'm still hunting. You are, but you've got to refresh your vmix call.
right, yeah.
Yeah, alright, so
Yeah, I'm sorry for my technical difficulties. That's the life of a man with a cat. The cat, he likes to catch a ruckus sometimes. Well,
holy smokes, the cats, not a hot take, but cats are the most chaotic pets that you can have.
well, on the same note, we will definitely need a lot of chaos from bringing bats if they want to disrupt the perfect synergy of food esports. Because those 5 ladies, they were on point. They looked like a perfectly oiled up machine. Every cog was working in synergy with each other, and no wrench could destroy the machine. So maybe start with a draft. As Scared likes to say, 60% of the game is made in the draft.
Yep, that's what I normally like to call there. But at the same time, right now, Fanny, respect ban potentially, Freya, understandable. But I don't quite get the idea behind the Leslie and the Suyu. Maybe for esports want to prioritize the Claude and the gold lane, so they're just getting rid of Leslie, who's pretty annoying to deal with. You've got Josin, you've got Yi Sun Shin, Basha, Eve, Valentina. Quite a few.
By the way, I really like the Fanny respect ban. You know that Kujo could go crazy.
Yeah.
Sora being
so
locked in. But that enables Foot Esports to go for that free Valentina. As you mentioned before, she is highly prioritized. Bringing mats are maybe shooting themselves in their own legs with this move.
Kind of possible right now. And to be honest, if they're locking the Valentina, they can also go in for the Eve. Oh, you know what? They can just keep the Valen as a flex pick and maybe prioritize the Leo mod. Leo mod is still left open as well. And he pairs up really good against a Sora. You can go in for the shifting sides combination, but he still will be tanky enough to stop you.
Maybe, possibly. All right.
Okay. All right. It's okay. Yeah, it is. It is. It is what it is. Yeah, that's a Harith first pick. It's all right.
No, 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 no. It's Amon? Did I miss a patch note? Did I fell into a coma for some time? Is it Amon locked in for food? What did I miss, Scared? Walk me through it.
It's probably going to be the same thing where you're kind of picking him up because he's a comfort jungler, unless they don't want to play him on the jungle. He's pretty annoying to deal with, especially with the camouflage state, right? You can constantly cast those skills, and with the enhanced basic attacks, you will have those skills cooldown reduced as well. Every single skill's cooldown gets reduced by 1 second by his enhanced basic attacks, and they get enhanced as soon as he comes out of that camouflage state. So it's fair. It is pretty annoying to deal with, I won't lie. Difficult to catch, but if there is anyone who can do that, then that is going to be Sheelan on the Kadita.
She definitely can. That Petrify can become very, very useful. At the same time, you are picking a hero that's not really reliant on seeing the target per se. Well, you need to see the target, but you don't need to. Well, you can cast it on camouflage targets. That's what I meant basically by that. Because for some heroes, especially gold laners, he's quite a headache. Honestly, what I would really like is bringing bats to lock in Sora gold lane, because that would fix that issue, because he would deal damage with his spells, so you wouldn't have that trouble with camouflage targets, because normally marksmen have trouble hitting Amon. They cannot really do that if he's camouflaged. So maybe that's a fruit for thought. You were looking like you would disagree with that idea, Scared. What do you think about it?
I mean, if you're going for the Amon into the gold lane, you've got to have either the Kimi in the mid or the Yi Sun-shin in the jungle. There is no other way.
Wait, no, Sora in the gold lane to counter Amon.
All right. All right. Sora in the gold lane. For some reason, I thought it wasn't a Sora, it was a Suyu. I just take all of that back. I take all of that back. Yeah, I thought it's a brain.
It's all right. It's all right. We waited for long, we yapped for long. You are thinking about the Hirara, all the combinations. Yeah, it's all right, Scared. You have the time. We are still in the draft, but the draft is being closed out. And Benedetta is another crazy mechanical pick. Actually,
right. It's good, to be honest. Okay. Yeah, you've got an eye for an eye that can actually dodge quite a lot of CC and can inflict the CC on the one who's trying to give it. So I do like the idea of the Benedetta. You've got the Guinevere as well with the spatial migration into the Violet Requiem. Good combination there too.
I completely forgot about Granger, because of course he fixes all those issues with camouflage targets. He doesn't really need to see you, but at the same time he's ranged, and he has quite a lot of range, so Amon will have a little bit of a trouble getting to him. At the same time, there's so many heroes trying to get on top of that Granger that this Fredrin pickup will be super crucial for his survival. True. I really like what Lady did here. I think their team comp is being put together very well with those last two picks. What do you think will be the answer for Foot Esports for their role?
I mean, for some reason, I feel that they're actually putting this Amon into the roam itself in the hands of Nora, and it's not going anywhere else. Because they've locked in the Guinevere, so that definitely is going to be in the jungle. Harith ain't going in the mid. You need some crowd control there. The only kind of control you have is by the spatial migration. So you might want to add something into the mix, and they go with the Kimi. Interesting draft by Foot Esports. I don't know, man. I kind of like Bringing Bad a bit more.
Yeah, definitely Bringing Bats have much more traditional team comp. The only thing that's not really following the typical meta would be Kadita, even though she's been popping out. She has been popping out sometimes. But other than that, it's the traditional stuff. What goes very well for Foot Esports is that all of their heroes have so much damage that if they get rolling, there's nothing really stopping them. It's Marcel. Oh, well, in that case, it's a kind of a traditional team comp for them as well. And correct me if I'm wrong, but Benedetta Ultimate works with Marcel's ult? Does it or does it not?
She's gonna be freezed as soon as she steps in that range. So yeah, that is the thing. Yeah, as soon as you tap on that golden hour, it's going to be tough for anyone to make any kind of play there. But now, if you're thinking about it, you can pair it up with a traction pulse, right? And here's the thing: we always talk about this discussion. Oh, big knockup out here coming in right now. All right, Beba is going to be running away back into the safety now. This is the strength of your Kimi into the mid lane. You can constantly go for the pokes, and with the mobility Nora has on the Marcel, that works so well with their aggression. They're not stopping. Hold on, Warren. I know you want to talk about it a bit, but guess what? Jillian is going to be hopping back in as well. The Ocean Zord, she ain't stepping up front. In the first minute, 40 esports are invading the buff of Bringing Bad.
This is insanely aggressive approach from Foot Esports, but honestly, what else to expect from a team that is a strong contender for winning the whole thing? I mentioned it before, so who else to innovate and bring new stuff into the mix than themselves? I've been questioning it, I've been doubting it, but right now they are 1,200 gold Gs on top of Bringing Bats, and for Bringing Bats they are missing a lot of crucial spells.
Yeah, that frame moment, to be honest, I'd have to say is the big problem that Bringing Bats have to deal with. Otherwise they will keep on missing those skills whatsoever, because that immobilize that catches you by surprise is the main problem. But guess what, this time the eye for an eye, catching a couple of people there including Beba, is a big shout for esports. Get the first blood for themselves, and even though their composition is very squishy, they don't care. They don't intend on playing the long game.
That's the thing, their composition it's conditional, is squishy if they are on even footing or behind. If they are actually ahead, it doesn't really matter if they are squishy, because they will one-shot you before you can do anything. Fredrin, he would usually be tanky, but he is, god damn it, he is level 2 scared. He is level 2 only.
Yeah, because he has not been given any buff for the golden hour drop down there as well. You couldn't do anything in that. Kage has been taken down too. Lady has been shut down. Not a single creep in sight, and now they're going to be invading the purple yet again. Level 3 onto this Fredrin, and Foot Esports are not farming in their own jungle. The only thing that they care about is the jungle of Lady, and she's been bullied again out of there. Been stolen again. Another electro final blow. Shilian can't sustain through it all. Damn, if Lady falls, Shilian is nothing but just a mermaid. Mermaid, man.
Nora. Oh, yeah, they are not even farming their own jungle. They are just going into the opponent's jungle and taking whatever they want to take. And even Miyako, who didn't really get anything per se out of it, is still ahead 1 vote level. Lady, she's trying to get some farm, but she will only receive another death on her belt.
Yeah, the synchro vision logged in as well with the chrono dash. Now Kage tried to go in with the shifting skies onto the torrent form, but none of that matters. Short is level 5, but she can't really do anything against Nico because it's a Harith. She'll constantly dash around in the Examine Force.
Though I have to say, this is...
Oh, could have been a big play though, but Nora really had that flicker to save her own life too, and now we've also got Turtle up. Lady hasn't reached level 4. We are almost about to hit the 5-minute mark, man. It is so tough to watch. And yeah, Warren, go for it. Hold on, maybe. They don't really want to give you enough time. Electro final blow. Adding on to the damage with Kujo hopping up in front. Lady's the only one left, but not for long. Shilian is going to be knocking one up though, but it doesn't matter because she herself is buried 6 feet under. Foot Esports 10-0 start with the 9 freaking thousand goal lead. 5-minute mark.
As you rightfully said, this is not a game, this is a funeral of bringing bats and all their hopes for making this series theirs, because the only thing that has been made theirs, I wanted to say at least one of the jungle camps, but no, 0 jungle camps, no, nothing. Lady, yeah, I think she got the purple, but she will die for her actions.
Doesn't even matter, the golden hour dropped as well. You've also got the immobilize, everyone's gonna be knocked up and destroyed. You got the traction pulse on Shilian, who is just trying to hop towards her inhibitor to survive. Holy smokes, man. If for esports want, they can probably skip the third turtle and simply go for the Lord at 8-minute mark.
They should, because being this far ahead is a slippery slope, because everyone from your team has shutdowns on them, and that means that one mistake can accelerate your opponents back into the game, and if they get only one kill, they will be getting so much XP, so much gold, and any second they get along with their camp. Oh, Zilan. Oh no. She got popped. It's fishing season.
It ain't happening right now, man. Ladies level 5. Level 5. Unohana is 10.
Ooh.
You log in that big knockback from tech charge, but it doesn't matter. As I said, you're 5 levels behind than the players of FUT Esports, and 5 levels is just way too much to deal with.
Oh, it absolutely is. It absolutely is. I would like to highlight the genius of locking in Marcel with the rest of the squad, because yes, you have such a squishy composition. Yeah, let's not get excited. Unohana, she is quite slippery. She is kind of what Gilan wanted to be, but this fish is kind of dry on the side of bringing bats. She is quite easy to catch. Fish in the desert, you could say. FUT Esports, they are quietly and easily, with no real resistance, but of course bringing bats cannot really resist, but they will try for the last time.
Yeah, just hoping to maybe get something though, but it's all for the esports on every single front. A 3-0 trade, 21-0. They get a knock up onto Kujo, but Shilian is dead in the back. And it's all over even before it began, man. They took longer time in joining the lobby than ending this game.
Man, I think you said it correctly during the game, or at least you kind of phrased it in a sense, but this was truly a funeral, because, man, from the start to the end, it took only 8 minutes, but FUT Esports dig the grave for their opponents. This was an execution. 0-5, 0-5, 0-5, 0-3, 0-4. I think it really comes down to two things, and one of them is the genius, absolute genius mastermind behind the draft of FUT Esports, because I tried to mention it before, but Golden Hour paired up with a super squishy team means it's kind of similar idea as Faramis Ultimate, but Golden Hour kind of can do the same thing, where if you get caught and you get initiated upon, Marcel will just pop his ult and everything is reset. Your engage is meaningless because everyone has now time to react to it, and the fight restarts. It's kind of a pause in the fight, you could say. And with that tool at their disposal, they played it wonderfully. You could see it many times. Beba or Kage, they tried to make a play, or even Lady, but it was just stopped. Everyone paused, Golden Hour, and then the rest of FUT could react, could update their strategy into the fight, and it was just a flawless performance. At the end of the game, were they ahead by like 20,000 gold? I mean, bringing bats. I knew that paper-wise, FUT Esports is a very dominant team, and you have to be careful about where you step in, how you play in, but I did not really expect them to be on such a high horse for today.
I mean, you have a look at the roster one more time, because these are the names of all the girls who just showcased a masterclass with Marcel. And with the way how they played, yeah, I am 100% sure, Warren, that it's not their first rodeo with him. They
Oh,
have played
absolutely.
it, they have practiced him in the scrims, and they've done every single thing around that Marcel composition and how aggressively they can play with it. It's
Oh,
just
for sure. And I would like to
bonkers.
backpedal a little bit on that statement because you mentioned those are the ladies, those are the girls. But for this game, I did not really see them like that. I saw them as bloodthirsty monsters that were ripping their opponents apart. They were absolutely destroying everybody that stood in their way and the path to victory. And this
Yeah.
possibly could be the quickest win of a game here on Frozen Diva. I'm not sure, don't have the stats, but I think if it's not the fastest, it's definitely the most dominant win that we ever saw here.
Yeah.
And it puts a very interesting predicament into this series because it looks like there's not real hope for bringing bats. But scared, you might have an idea for them. So what do you think?
Maybe just change the composition entirely, right? Maybe just go with something along the lines of a Kalia and end up going in for these pick-offs kind of play style where you just take one person away from the fight, delete that person, and then hop in again for more. That's the only thing I can potentially see bringing bats pick up right now to counter Fut and ban away that Marcel. Do not allow that to Fut one more time. I'm not gonna doubt their bans at this point because you know what? Yeah, Soyo has been pretty solid with the amount of burst he has and with the way how he's constantly been dodging around. Leslie, pretty annoying to deal with in that goal lane because she's the counter of every top tier marksman right now. That is the Claude, also the carry. She can also bug pretty well Hanabi, so you don't want to play around against her. And Bringing Guards also will have to take care of the Jushin. They're in a tough spot.
Between a rock and a hard place, you could say. They are again going with that Fanny strat, where they want to get rid of her. Sora being now banned, because it didn't really come to fruition for them, even though they were the first team to pick him, but they realized that it could work for Food Esports. They should definitely be on a lookout, but they are not banning Marcel. So maybe they are thinking about locking him themselves. Maybe that's the idea. Let's see what Food Esports have prepared for the second match.
Jushin left open, Marcel left open. It's definitely a Marcel priority. They're not letting it through. They can potentially let Jushin through, but they're cool with that. So yeah, I don't know, man. It's
I mean, I myself have tasted jokes in Rome. I don't know how viable that would be in a very high competitive environment, but it has been quite viable against my fun team. So yeah, it's Marcel. It's Marcel first pick again for Food Esports, and I'm not sure if the answer is Florin, but maybe. I mean, you go on. I have to think about it because I'm not really sure what to think about.
Florin Uranus. Extra bit of sustain with a lot more healing this time around. And a little bit more towards the brawly side, right? Because yes, even though let's be honest, Benedetta would want to make a lot of rotations from her lane, Uranus kind of on the other end deals a ton of damage back to her. So it's not going to be a free lane as much as it was in the previous one. But
Does
more
he
like
really?
more,
Does he really deal that much damage to her? Because from where I'm
I
sitting,
mean,
I feel like he cannot really touch her, other than he will stand in the wave. But if he is not standing in the wave and protecting it by his own body, he cannot really get to her, can he? Because I feel like he is definitely much less mobile. Ooh, Hanabi. Wait a second. Does her spell shield work against Golden Hour? Because I don't think it does. Yeah. So I
Golden
don't.
Hour is
It's a
it's like it's
suppression, you
even
could
bigger.
say.
It's
Yeah.
a bigger than suppression thingy, right now.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's even it tops even suppression. So that's the thing. So that shield, or let me be nerdy, the ninjutsu, pedal barrage, and the ninjutsu equinox don't help you regarding that. Pedal barrage, pedal barrage.
Well, in that case, I don't really see the idea behind locking in Hanabi, because you
Priority
could...
marksman. Priority marksman, that's all. She's been working out. You yourself mentioned. Even in the MPL, she's being picked up right now, and with the Trinity, she gets really annoying to deal with. That's the only reason I could see her being picked up right now.
Link being banned, Joy as well. Will bringing bats ban Benedetta? Because maybe Foot Esports are not even going for her, but I feel like into the comp that they have, she could be very deadly. You have Florin, you have Hanabi, they could get shredded very easily. Benedetta can get Sea Halberd quite easy, no reason for her to not get it.
It could be Bene, or it could also be Gwen.
Is Guinevere that big of an issue for you? Because I feel
Marcel,
like...
yes.
That... Alright, even for Hanabi? You can tell me yourself, because you are the Hanabi prodigy yourself, so you can definitely elaborate on that a little bit.
Not for Hanabi per se that much, but once you pair up Claude's Blazing Duet with that, yes, the shield is going to run out very quickly. Plus Marcel is going to be constantly bugging you on your face. So that's the main thing. Plus, it's not as much for about Hanabi as much it is for the Golden Hour combination, right? You catch anyone on the edge of the Golden Hour, Guinevere is jumping on them. Yes, if you're in the center, then it gives them time to react as soon as that's off. But if they're around the edges, Guinevere is definitely jumping on them, and that too instantly. So that is where the problems begin with Marcel. It's not about catching them in the center, it's about catching them at the very edges of your ultimate. And they pick her up as well, so they kind of have the same idea now.
I would have really liked... I mean, no. It's alright. It's alright. There is dashes from Kagura. By the way, I noticed that Fevos has risen in popularity lately because of the boss. So I'm really happy to see him back in the meta. A little bit more, at least 1 foot in the door frame, right? Where he is trying to squeak in. Lady locking in that Mortis, so executions will be going through, but at the same time making it easier for Fevos to charge his passive up. Though Guinevere quite heal oriented, same for Claude, so those heroes, and Fevos as well, so those heroes will not really like be that the Mortis has been picked up, especially after... I know it's been some time ago, but let's not forget it. Skypiercer buffs to his ultimate where it combines the damage, so you get the execution. So basically with Skypiercer, you are ramping up the execution threshold for yourself. Exciting. If it gets brawly, I think Bringing Bats could have a chance, and this team composition looks much more playable than the last one.
For now, yes, definitely, but you've given 2 priority picks on the other side as well, with the Jushin in the mix along with the Marcel. You pretty much know what is going to happen out here, ladies and gentlemen. One last chance for Bringing Bad to bring themselves back in this series, because Foot have already kept 1 foot over towards that finish line. We'll have to see if they move the second one there as well, as quickly as we talk about it.
No, lady.
Yeah, she's in trouble again. She's being picked up as well. The orange. Alright, for now she secured it. And not supposed to have the flicker from Nora, but the trouble still stays! A 3-man spatial migration there, though not enough damage, so no one could actually capitalize on the back of it. But you brute force Bringing Bad onto hitting the recall in the 1 minute 10 second mark.
By the way, did you see how Yunohana moved herself? Because she even dropped a couple of minions. I don't know if it was the full wave or just a couple, but she did that just for the sake of being there at the right moment, at the right time, because they want to do the exact same as they did in the last game.
And look at where she's cutting the wave as well. That is in between the inhib as well as the tier 2 now. Jillian doesn't have anything. Another Doom-in knock-up out with the spatial migration. Yes, you can drop down the mortal coils, but that's the first one in at least 2 games there. But the damage is still being done on top of you. Force out another flicker. And Bringing Bads finally hop in with the punish.
You cooked and you burned the food. And you burnt yourself. Your whole kitchen is on fire because 1 kill for 3. I know it didn't really project itself that much into the gold department, but it will get there eventually, and you can see it kind of building up, ramping up. 600 it was for a bit for Bringing Bats.
It's going to be tough right now. Not for Foot though, but also for Bringing Bats at the same time, because guess what, the aggression is still going to stay strong. If anything, they're going to double down on that. Pepper has been taken down instantly. And that gives the total priority to Foot Esports. They are still holding strong. Another shot as well. Yet on the faces, they keep on bonking them. And Shalian will have to run back as Lady has been taken down again. On the Martis.
This is so sad to see. As a Martis connoisseur myself, because Lady, she was just a click away of making some executions happen. If she got the first one off, she would heal up. She has of course the emblem for that, but she wasn't able to because Zendaya, she took her in the air and the only thing she could do is dangle her legs. Oh Baba, oh sweet Baba, she's gonna die again.
Wow. Yeah, you catch onto them one more time by dropping down that golden hour. 3-win catch with a Higginbana. But yeah, it's just not enough. I think so the combination of these 2 ladies could actually be pretty good if you combine the Higginbana along with the same umbrella of Shilian. But for that you have to level up. It's level 6 already, heading on both for Miko, Unohana and Kujo. While your team is still struggling out of those level 4s and level 5s right now.
I think they had enough of Marcel.
I don't think so. I don't think so, because right now it's the phobias that's causing the major problems. Bonking on their faces yet again. Revitalize popped up as well. You got 3 people all the way back with the mortal coil, but decimation is not enough. Pretty late. Snapshot taken on your face. The whole fight was stopped instantly, and on the back of that you catch 2 of them for Esports. The 2-for-0 trade.
That's the most disgusting thing about Marcel. I spoke about it before, but that's exactly why he is such a strong pick. That's why so many pros are saying that Marcel is broken and he needs to be nerfed, and until then he needs to be respected heavily. This is exactly why you have a fight, it's going well for you. Lady, she played it to a T. It was so good. She pulled them into the tower. She got the decimation. Yes, it wasn't an execution, but Fevos, he almost died. But then, golden hour, snap time, and the fight restarts when you already don't have the edge anymore.
It is just going from bad to worse right now, though. A couple of flickers being forced out, another golden hour on their faces with every single thing thrown at them except for the kitchen sink. And with that, another 3-for-0 trade, maybe a 4-for-1, but doesn't matter. Another jungle invade with a 5,000 goal lead for 40 Esports. Bringing Bads on the trailing play again.
I'm not quite sure about that statement, because with the amount of damage that was going for the side of Food Esports, I think maybe even 2 kitchen sinks maybe flew over to the side of Bringing Bads, because they got destroyed. Marcel working overtime, that combination golden hour with his passive, so even when and after you get from the ult, you are still stunned, you are immobilized. It's such a headache.
Moment has been annoying them time after time, and guess what, Kage didn't really have the revitalize available as well, so finally she's also been shut down. She was kept alive for quite a long time now, and even with shot on Hanabi, it hasn't really been enough. And look at all of the tanking that's being done. Kujo hasn't really dropped any skills on shot. And even after that, she was out damaging a Hanabi.
Red team turret has been destroyed.
This is just the fact that, as you said it before, Scared, you leave two of the strongest meta picks for your opponents to get their hands upon.
Red team turret
I mean,
has been
you
destroyed.
cannot even say that Bringing Bats are playing bad. Well, matter of fact, they are kind of playing better than the last game, because in the last game they would already be losing base Crystal at this moment. But it's still not enough, at least for now, because there is Nora, there is Zendaya, and they are making a lot of trouble for you. And even without those two, there's still Yunohana, Miyako, Kuyo. I mean, another golden hour.
Wow! 4 people caught in that, and all of them just destroyed in seconds with the blazing duet in the back line as well. Shot will save her own life thanks to the ninjutsu Equinox, but apart from that, yeah, nothing ain't happening here. Don't even have the yin yang overturn at this point. No semi-umbrella open. It is all just problems and chaos. Shilian shut down. Immobilized as well with the frame moment, but no one's following up on that, so for now shot will keep her alive, but Bringing Bats are not keeping their inhibitors.
They are not, and they possibly could be losing even their last one, and with it possibly even the last
Red team
bits of hope of making it back into this series. But lady, she will try nonetheless.
Another 3-man catch, and this is gonna end up in a disaster. Bringing Bats, they are being pushed all the way back, and this game is being faster than the previous one as well. You rightfully mentioned shot being taken down, and so is the crystal. You do not hit the 10th minute mark in the game if you are playing against FUT Esports, because what they've showcased right now is a domination like none other. And I must say, this is looking to be the strongest lineup in Female Pro League Season 1.
Yeah, I'm at a loss of words for now, because I'm just trying to contain what has been witnessed by my eyes and yours and all of our viewers. I think it really comes down to the draft. As a matter of fact, the draft wasn't really a successful part for Bringing Bats, because even this draft that has been a little bit more successful than the last, actually it has bought them 40 more seconds of a game, something around that, compared to the first one. They still lacked some of the tools. For example, if you are rocking Florin, you are putting yourself in a position where your roamer isn't really being active on the map. The only reason why, not Esmeralda, but Matilda has been utilized in the pro scene, even though she is kind of on the utility side, is because she still can do stuff even before her ult, and after her ult she even has a CC of her own, which is not typical for roamers that are ranged. But if you are hopping on a Florin, you want that game to last longer, you want to get your items going, you are not really as good stats based as Khalid, as Grog, as some of the other heroes. For example, Khalid, as I mentioned him, he would be such a better addition to your team. I get it, Marsa would stop him in his tracks as well, but you would have something to fight back with. Just imagine that fight around the first purple buff that happened, and you were able to kind of get 3 kills, and they only got 1. And from that moment, it was going kind of good for you. But imagine that Wolf fight replayed, but you have Khalid instead of Florin. Oh my, I don't think you would even lose a single member because of how much damage Khalid has. And it doesn't have to be Khalid, it could be Hilda, it could be someone along those lines. I think Florin wasn't the smartest move. And at the same time, before we kind of walk from this game and from the series itself, I want to mention another point that I noticed, and that is they Bringing Bats are not really focusing on having that mid lane prio. First game they had Kadita, she basically has no mid lane priority. She needs to fix that by either a roamer or someone other helping her, maybe a jungler coming into the mid lane to help her get the prio. And second game, you have Kagura. Yes, she has a little bit more of that mid lane presence, but she definitely doesn't match to the likes of Zhuxin, Kimi, or those other very meta heroes that can make the mid lane prior itself by themselves. Zetian would be another on top of my mind. So those were the chinks in the armor, you could say, that got exposed by Food Esports. And Scared, I went a little bit on a yapping session, but I had this on my mind and I had to share it because I believe if those issues were resolved, we could have been looking at a whole different series. Of course, no disrespect to Food Esports, because they definitely played their hearts out. And even though you could see it as kind of an easy thing for them because they made it look easy, there is so much practice, so much training, and so much sweat and tears being put into everything before you can show a game, a series like this.
And that is one of the big reasons why they've combined took less than 17 or 18 minutes to close out both the games. Shows up in their entire game. Ladies and gentlemen, this was about it for today's game. Warren summed it up pretty well for esports with that utter domination against Bringing Bads in a 2-0 with zero vision. Also doing almost the similar things against Boar Queens, but it was a little bit more competitive on that end. But still, it is both Zero Visions and Boars Queens qualifying from their group, or Boars Queens still need to win one to do that. While for the esports, undoubtedly are the strongest ones currently here right now. And you all were watching the Female Pro League Season 1 Frozen Diva, brought to you by ESEL. We will catch you guys into the next stream. Make sure you hit that follow button. Make sure you also hit that subscribe button along with the bell notification so that you do not miss out on that actions. This is me, Scared Yet, alongside with Warren. We'll be signing off for the night. See ya. Good night.